Hello children, and welcome to another session of Children's Liturgy. Today, we celebrate the 30th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Let us listen to the Gospel reading.
One day, Jesus told this parable. 2 men went to the temple to pray. One was a Pharisee, who was an upright and religious man who always obeyed the law. The other was a tax collector, who cheated people to make himself rich. The Pharisee stood up and prayed, "Thank you, God, for making me such a good person. Unlike the tax collector over there, I keep all your rules and am most generous with my money." The tax collector stood at the back of the temple. He bowed his head in shame as he prayed quietly, "O God, I have done so many things wrong. Please forgive me." Then Jesus said, "It was the second man, and not the first, who pleased God with this prayer."
A teacher once received many gifts from her students on Teacher's Day. There were 2 particular presents that stood out among all the other gifts. One was a big box that was wrapped with a beautiful piece of wrapping paper and decorated with brightly colored ribbons. On the box was an expensive store-bought card with a message. "Dear teacher, I hope you like the present which I bought you. I had spent a lot of time choosing this present, and although it is quite expensive, I think you deserve it because you have been a great teacher. I know you will like my present better than the one Johnny got for you. I think he did not even bother to put in much effort in getting his present for you. You will know what I mean when you see it. Luckily, I'm not like that. Anyway, Happy Teacher's Day. Your student, Karen." The teacher read the card in silence. Opening the box, she saw a big teddy bear. It was quite a pleasant-looking gift. The other present was a much smaller one, wrapped in plain white paper. The paper looked a bit crumpled, and pasted on it was another piece of paper with another message. "Dear teacher, I'm sorry that I could not get you a proper present. I don't have a lot of money as my father is sick and unable to work, so only my mother is working to support the family. But because you have been such a wonderful teacher to me, I wanted to give you something. Unfortunately, I cannot afford much, so I made you a present using some recycled materials. I was a bit embarrassed to give it to you when I saw what my other classmates had bought and were giving you. But my parents said that what is most important is that my gift must come from the heart. So here it is. I hope you will like it. Happy Teacher's Day. Your student, Johnny." The teacher opened up the second gift and looked at the item inside. It was a simple coaster made of ice cream sticks. Now children, which one of the 2 gifts do you think the teacher appreciated more? The teddy bear or the coaster? I'll let you know in a while. In today's Gospel, we hear about 2 men praying to God. One was a Pharisee, which means a religious leader, and the other a tax collector, who was someone who collected taxes from others and very often disliked by many because they sometimes collected more than required and kept the extra for themselves. Yet, Jesus said that it was the prayer of the tax collector which pleased God. Why? Being a religious leader, the Pharisee was proud that he was someone who obeyed God's laws and lived a holy life. But he treated anyone who did not do so with dislike and disgust. He wanted to show off his goodness to others so that they would look upon him with respect and appreciation. That was why he stood up to pray, so that others could see and hear him. On the other hand, the tax collector stood at the back of the temple, bowed his head and prayed quietly. He was aware of his sins and wrongdoings and was earnestly and humbly asking for the forgiveness of God. God is pleased with the humble prayer of the tax collector because the outward gestures of goodness is not what impresses God. He is more interested in what we feel in our hearts. In the story of the two presents, Karen is quick to highlight her own efforts in choosing the present, how expensive it is, and how Johnny's present is worthless. Johnny, on the other hand, acknowledges that his present cannot be compared to his other classmates, but he still wants to give it because the teacher deserves it. Johnny hoped, in his letter, that the teacher would like the present. Well, the teacher didn't. She loved it. She loved it because she could feel the effort and love that Johnny had put into preparing the gift and treasured it the most. Johnny's parents were right after all. What was most important was that the gift must come from the heart. The parable today reminds us that we are not perfect and that we have all made mistakes in our lives. Therefore, we should also never judge the actions of others. God is loving and merciful and wants us to be sincere and honest rather than be full of self-importance and pride. If we are willing to admit our weaknesses and our need for God's mercy, then we will welcome God into our hearts and minds. This is the gift that we want to present to God, our sincerity. Let us all learn to approach Jesus with sincere and repentant hearts so that our prayers will be pleasing to Him. What sort of present would you give to Jesus? A teddy bear of pride or a coaster of humility? The choice is yours. Thank you, and may God bless you.